Hey everybody, this is Tim. Welcome back to another episode of Boone County Beekeeper. Super windy today. I hope you can hear me. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna hang some traps. Well, actually I hung them yesterday. You can probably see the one here behind me. But I'm gonna go ahead and take this box down and we'll get in it. We'll see what I put in there and we'll see how we set it up, how we lay it out. Super windy today, so I'm gonna be talking a little loud. Hopefully you can hear me. So let's get in the box, see what we got. I'll be back in just a minute. Hey guys, I hope you can hear me. It's really windy out here. It's April the 3rd. Man, the wind is really kicking, so I hope that you can hear me. I'll try to talk loud. I just took this box down and I wanted to show you what we have inside, how I lay mine out. Nothing fancy about it. First thing that I put in there is a brood comb. I don't know if you know anybody that would have an old brood comb. If you do, I think it really goes a long way. Now, do you have to have it? Absolutely not. You don't have to. A buddy of mine last year, I know that he baited some boxes and he just had some starter strips, and also he had some plastic foundation. He caught swarms. So I mean, you don't have to have it, but I do think that it helps because this old brood comb, you know, it has the bee smell. I think that really goes a long way. So that's the first thing that I want to put in, is I put a brood comb in there, and I always put it right in the center. A lot of people will say they want to put it on the outside where the sun would hit it. I don't really know that it makes a whole lot of difference. Next thing that I put in is I put in a starter strip, an empty frame, and we're going to do the next video is just going to be on nothing but frames. But you see here, I put fishing line in here, and I just take a starter strip. I make my own starter strips, and I'll show you how to do that on the next video. But I've noticed that the bees, they like to build on this, and they'll build, a lot of times they'll build this out before they even start working on the plastic foundation. And then the rest of the stuff that I have in here is just nothing other than black plastic foundation. That's what I put. Now, I buy the kind that is unwaxed. You can buy the heavy wax type, but I buy the unwaxed, and I just go ahead and wax my own. And we'll get into that on the next video as well, how I wax my frames. And really, that's all I do. But what I do, I put my brood comb right in the middle, and I go ahead and I put my empty right beside of it, and then I just fill the rest of the box up with foundation. That's all that I do. Now, let me show you something else here. Talk about baiting. How do I bait my hives? I've already done this, so I'll just show you. But I just take a piece of paper towel, and I'll get me a sandwich bag, and I put about 3 squirts right here on this paper towel, and I fold it. I put that in my bag. Okay, and then I just come over here and I zip this closed. And I just leave about 1.5 inches, 2 inches open on the side. Now, I lay mine on the top of the frames. A lot of people puts it down in the bottom, and that's fine. But what I learned is every time you go up there to take that down, if you're going to refreshen that, you got to take your frames out to get to the paper towel. So I just lay mine right here on top of the frames. With those vent holes, you'll get plenty of ventilation. Now, this is an older trap, but it's along the same lines as the ones I showed on my last video. One thing I didn't mention is right here, I drive me a little nail right here on each one of these. And I go and I buy me some bungee straps. So right across your bungee strap, that holds the lid on, and then you don't have to worry about it blowing off, and it makes it real simple to get up there, take your bungee strap off, check and see what you got. So I'm gonna go ahead and hang this back up, and then I'm gonna go back up to another spot, and I'll show you around a little bit, show you the kind of places I like to hang them, and we'll go from there. Okay guys, I don't know if you can hear me, but here we are. We have it back again. We have it hanging. Here's what I look for when I'm hanging one. Well, first of all, this is on a parapole. As you can see, it's a parapole. I like a parapole because they're always good and straight. You don't have to worry about limbs or anything like that. If you notice right behind here, this is autumn olive tree. That will get a lot of activity here whenever the blooms come out. Bees love autumn olive. But as you can see here, I'm on beside an old road, and this actually used to be the main road, but not really anybody lives up this way anymore. People in this area used to have bees probably 30, 40 years ago. I did notice that there's a lot of bee activity in here, and I actually caught a swarm right here last year. Actually, it was the first swarm that I caught. The one that died, the hive that I had it died, this is where that came from. But it was a very good set of bees. So hopefully we'll have some luck here again. Now, I tell you, I like to find a place. You can see right here, this is an old power line down through here. And it's a little overgrown now, but still they got a good place to fly. And that's what you want. And right here, if you'll turn and run around, you can see I'm right here on the edge of a wood line. This is a little point that goes up right here and woods. So going on up the road here, you can see I got a good place here, a good place for the bees to fly. This is the kind of place that I look for, and it seems like you always have a lot of activity in a place like this, beside an old field, edge of a wood line, something like that. So I'm going to shut this off. We'll go back up to the other one and I'll show you that. It is actually on a gas line, an old gas line, probably this same gas line. You can see this white pipe right there, probably the same gas line. It's about probably a mile up the road, but we'll stop when we get there. Okay guys, so here we are at the other location. We're about 3/4 of a mile to a mile roughly from where the other one was just set out, and this is a location. As you can see, this is a part of the old gas line down through here. You got a good clearing here, a place for the bees to fly. That's always important, I think. This right here, we're at a place where there used to be some old homes in here, but it's been years and years ago. You can see right here part of an old building floor that was here, cement. But you know, the mines, they come in here and they bought everybody out, and they've mined all around here, so they've just kind of let it grow up. But it's a good place for bees. Actually, some people that lived right here had bees up to just a few years ago. So probably last 15, 20 years, been a lot of people had bees right here. But this is one place, I'll turn around here, that I did catch a swarm last year. I actually caught one, and I had it for just a couple of days in the box. It seemed like a very big swarm, but for whatever reason they absconded, and I just left them boxed. You know, don't get discouraged if that happens to you, because it will happen. You know, you'll have bees in the box, and then you go to get them and they're gone. And why that is, I don't know. They just they did something about it they didn't like. So just leave your box up, and that's what I did. And before long, guess what? Had another swarm moved in. Actually, it was the one that didn't have the queen, but you can catch more than one swarm in a spot. And that's another good piece of advice. If you actually catch a swarm, come right back with another box or the same box that you transfer, put it right back in the same spot. You know, a lot of them scout bees, they're used to coming in there, and I know several people that's caught more than one swarm, you know, in one location. It happens all the time. So that's basically it. That's basically what I do. You know, I just now a lot of people will talk about this. This one here is a little higher than what I actually put them. A lot of people say, oh, you know, you want it to be 15 feet or so in the air. I don't really necessarily believe that, because you know, maybe if you could live in a place where you could back a truck up to it, or you know, you had a good access to get in there, yeah, maybe you'd want to take a ladder and put one up that high. But what I do is I just put mine up as high as I can reach. You know, I want that that nail up there. I put a nail in the top, and then I just reach up as high as I can. Now on this one here though, actually, I've got a good access here to the road, so I do have it up probably, that's probably 8 foot to the bottom of it. And I do have a little step ladder that I put up against that tree, and it works good. But that 15 feet, you don't really have to believe that. I don't believe it. If they want to go in there, they're going to go. So, all right, guys, we're back. Hey, I'll tell you where we're at. We're here where I'm going to put my new bee yard. What we have here is I bought a 10 by 10 dog kennel, and just for right now, I've got my long hive. It's placed inside there. I'll have to do a little reorganizing when I get it. Another reason I put the dog kennel up, this place right here, we're in between a couple towns, and you got a lot of bears that like to come in here. And another big problem I'm going to have is you got a lot of people. Let this truck get by. You got a lot of people that like to come up right here, and they like to party. That worries me a little bit. I don't know if this is going to work out or not. I hope that it does. I really do. But over here to the side, you can see I brought me an old piece of belt home from my work. It's a piece I was going to throw away, and I'm actually going to put some stands on that right there. That'll be under my bee stand. That way I won't have to worry about mowing weeds up under my hives and all that. But the reason for the dog kennel is what I'm gonna put electric fence around this thing. I've got some T-posts. I actually went yesterday and bought the T-posts. I'm gonna put electric fence around it. I've done got my controller. I've done got all that. I've got everything I really need except my battery, and I gotta go get that. So I'm getting ready to start on that. And the reason I put that dog kennel up was mainly I want to put all my controls and everything inside of that dog kennel. Now, will that stop everybody? Probably not. I'm going to put a lock on it, but you got to try something, you know. So that's about where we're at. But I'll show you around here just for a second. Let me get off the rhino here. But again, this is a place, I told you I had a good buddy. He actually has a garden. He raises his garden over here, as you can see. And it's a good sized bottom. All this up in here, all that is autumn olive, man. That is autumn olive, and these bees are going to go crazy on this autumn olive, so that's good. All this here behind me, poplar timber. Man, we got poplar timber everywhere. It should really be good, I think, for bee habitat. Now, there used to be a house that sat right here. It actually sat right here. And I know that a guy probably 30, 40 years ago, he had like 12 stands of bees right here. He had like 12 colonies. And from what I understand, talking to some of the old timers here in town, he really done some good here. On this side over here, we've got the main road is right over here. That goes to the next town up. Then you got your mountain, and that's where all the basswood will be. It'll be back on the mountain. Should be pretty good. You can see right here, all this green. That's autumn olive starting to come up. Right up here, around this curve right here, we've got a little creek that flows down through there. Japanese knotweed, man, it's everywhere. So I think this will be a really good spot for some bees. At least I'm hoping. But that's basically it. I just wanted to stop and show you. The work's getting ready to start. I'll show you my daughter's paint job she did here on the long hive. This is the long hive that I built. Like I said, I've never really seen one. I just went off of YouTube and pictures and see what I could do. And I think it's going to hold like 30 some frames. So we'll see. So she decorated it up, and she even wrote Bailey's Bees on there. So hopefully we'll get something in there. I got two entrances. I got one on this side And also this will be my main entrance right here. I thought once about putting 2 colonies in there and then sharing the middle for honey, but I probably will not do that to start off with. I'll probably just see how it does. I don't know anything about a horizontal hive. There's the piece of belt. So this is where it's going to be. I'm going to section this off and we'll come around this with a bear fence, and hopefully that'll keep the bears out. I've got a dog right down here. Oh, he's the next house down. He's a Great Dane. You'll probably see him some. He's a big, beautiful dog for sure, and I think he's friendly. We're going to find out. So there's my old rhino. So that's about all I got. Hopefully you can hear this. Like I said, it's real windy. I actually see a bee flying around this pine tree here, right here, so that's good. All right, so guys, have a good day. God bless you, and we'll be back with you again soon.